My mother is dead. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I knew that would happen. Sadly, the food bank has been prepared for the unusual traffic because the food bank is ideally not an emergency situation. Those should exist, but there's people that are like, we're from out of town, lost our credit card while at the food bank. I want to try something new. I have some visitors and we didn't plan to feed them. So we're supplementing with the food bank. New town with this, my best was everywhere. What else? 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 So, Chancho Jokuchi Frito's favorite word to death is thinking that we're in a factory. Like all of, like, la que se lo maman en mi familia de origen. So, él se cree que el layoff me afecta a mí. El tipo es tan bruto, entonces esa para prevenir el layoff se lo maman a él y él le da mi dinero que me roban. Dan un asco, gente, dan un asco. What else? What else? What else? Saving that to read later. Oh, that's cute to know. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I don't even have middle income and they get that jealous. And there's no one here that I would like. And they're like, not even middle income living. They get jealous over my coffee, my water. Oh, I didn't finish, but I thought early this morning, did we do this already? Did we decipher that text? So they all because they're looking for something that they'll try to get me to kill myself later on. So, coteja porque si no hay cancelar el cheque me quiere matar. So when I received this text, I'm like, I need to call the police, but how? I don't have any money, so I feel like very much at a disadvantage right now of getting hurt if I don't have money. Me dejan saber si lo recibe, ella se lo mama a gente ilegalmente, so she's possibly like bragging that she rapes my crushes. Te quiere venir un tiempo acá, te quiere venir, like they use that as a sexual innuendo of like coming vagina ill. Acá ella cruzó las piernas conmigo instead of using a C, she placed an X for Ebony Lorenzo's a sex addict, so one kind of reads into this creepy. Así puedes solicitar la forma, coges algunos cursos, puedes trabajar por tu cuenta with my vagina in mind. Te quedas aquí porque me voy a quedar en la casa de my parents that they were so lovely, hoping that my siblings and I would move out or stay, but without taking over the home, so that they could hanky panky all the time. And that leech got in the way of Gloria and San Ramon's marriage, saying Ramon is mine. What all of a sudden people read my body language when I show to like explain it out loud to some people why some like oh porque like for someone in true distress from a partner. This isn't the ideal situation. Like there is an embassy suites, there's money, take the kids with you, buy a new home, and that's it. But people say like nothing that she's saying is a direct threat, but your face, you've heard her behind the scenes already trying to rape you, that instill from you that you're like, "Ugh, esto no hay ni como tocarlo." Ew. You can decapitate Oliver Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate la Eva de él, la Eva de él. ¿Dónde está la Eva de él? Da un asco, gente, da un asco. Ew. Ella se cree que es dueña de la gente. So. La tipa es una puerca, una basura, una asquerosidad. You can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? She holds me back financially because she knows what places I most likely will go in with just a little bit of money based on conversations that I heard when I was a child, too, and my interest. So she coordinated for that leech to be here while I'm here, and I have no interest in having sex with him. Ew, 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 ew. That one asco porque then she wants a storyline of like, hey, she thinks I'm gonna tell her about my life. So. What else? What else? What else? Then she was a storyline. Decirle Carlitos. Me enteré, Carlitos se lo vamos a Embassy Suites. Mátale, mátale. So that's what they're playing with money that belongs to me and my homes and my vehicles. They aren't toys. That un asco, gente. They shouldn't even be thinking about me. I lost interest in them when I was 3 years old. And my siblings have created like that a little bit to get over from someone. It takes decades until la muerte te la lleves contigo. Trying to get them to kill me and they're willing to participate. They're dumb as fuck. They're extremely dangerous. They're dumb as fuck. They're currently starving. Like, I don't have money for food. And they don't have any relationship with me. They're my first cousin's kids that I don't even acknowledge as family with how gross they are. What else? 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 I'm bored. I'm bored. Heading over to Central Market later. He doesn't have money for food. I don't even have food stamps. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Esa gente que I grew up around da un asco, gente. Da un asco. Ahora, luego de este video, se sobran todas las que se lo han mamado a él. A brag about que ellas se lo mamaron a alguien que salió en un live. Wow, there's peanuts. Ew, 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 ew. Ew. That's all the money there for food, $4. Ew, 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 ew. In the meantime, you can decapitate my homies, so the sons that rape me and steal my money and get in the way with your same money. I don't have time for that again. So is at least one of them dead already? What else? What else? You can give me money in person through PayPal, through my GoFundMe campaign. Like even if I put soapy water in here, I'm trying to drink it. What else? 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 Oh, what was that about income? That happens. What else? What else? What else? What else? Entrepreneur. Oh, wellness is industry reach a record high worth of trillions. Entonces joke porque ya at this point he doesn't have a name and he should be like con la planta enterrado, and I'm upset that he's still alive because there's people in Aguada, Puerto Rico that have immunity to kill him in self-defense for me, and I left Aguada, Puerto Rico a long time ago, and that they hate because that gives them the impression that maybe I'm stable financially and that he was, even though he was stealing from me, I wasn't being affected. Pero pelas le dan. People say every time that you put burgundy color furniture on Facebook, we're like beating him up privately. Tratando de matarlo, pero darlo un poquito live. Possibly. I've heard that some people's immunities get taken away that way. They're like, you have to kill him and stop like beating him up and dejarlo un poquito vivo. What else? 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 I'm so bored. I'm so. I want to brag that they killed Gloria Musa in the wellness industry is booming. They threatened me with that decades ago. They think I'm gonna kill myself. Be like, sorry guys, I'm a hypocrite. Close down the screen. El tipo es un puerco, una basura, una asquerosidad. I don't ever want him near me. You can decapitate Carmen Carrero for Sidney Davis and Kilani's child support money. You can decapitate everyone that's caused my poverty, homelessness, anxiety, depression. What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate everyone that's caused my starvation for more than 30 years. Oh, I don't do that as I undress myself at my starvation. These people are so gross. You can decapitate Berenice Venegas if she thought that was the show that she was gonna say. See, these leeches don't even grow up. Y se quedan bruto. Unless I'm mistaken about him and I don't know him well, that's a fact. They go on, they're like, no, first she needs to like sit at a table, get naked, así con barriga y panza y celulite and entertain us. People say it's a sex slave. He's like, yeah, but that's in the family. That's not a sex slave. It's in the family, right? Ew. That one last has no family. Ew, ew, ew. You can't believe it. Lorenzo is so desirable. That is mad because I highlight who she rapes. And I highlighted who Marilyn rapes. You can decapitate Jadiel Lorenzo Chaparro. You can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. She wants to be a woman, doesn't know how. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate Lich. Basura que no sea eso se mete por el culo a él. Oh, ellos se violan entre ellos mismos, possibly. Ew. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez and sisters that rape me, that steal my money, that steal my homes, that steal my vehicles. What else? You can decapitate Sarah Francis Lalich que se hace pasar por mí. You can decapitate Caro Cristina. Oh, you're like, oh, we've seen them all. Some of you. You can decapitate Ezio Rivera. You can decapitate Benjamin Sanderson, the sons that raped me and steal my money and get me receive money. You can decapitate Yesenia Ramirez Lorenzo. They've been raping for more than 30 years. They're girls. You can decapitate Caitlin Barnes. You can decapitate Carol Cristina, whatever her last name is. You can decapitate Carol Cristina, whatever her last name is. Esta es una puerca. You can decapitate Carol Cristina, whatever her last name is. They're so gross that they abuse one publicly on social media. You can decapitate Diana Acevedo Perez. I miss Dana, I miss Kaylani. What else? I should be dating Kaylani. They don't answer. What else? I have electricity in my apartment. Phone. A t-shirt from here, no bottoms.
All right, slow ride. Let me know
Hi, my
when
love.
y'all
I'm
get out.
calling to say hi and I love you. I'll call you again tomorrow. Anyways, the genies and the ladies turned Jade into her unofficial boyfriend trying to rape him. Ew, esa gente se le pega. Nunca lo visitaba cuando estaba conmigo y ahora all of a sudden es la novia. They make it obvious too. If they do that, they're gross. They starve one, they steal one's money. Si vieran lo asquerosa. Pero que people look at her, girls. I've been around her. Donde la mesera looks at her like, ew, there's this leash. And isn't your job, girl, to kill her already? Hi, my love. I'm calling to say hi and I love you. I won't call you again tomorrow. What else? What else? What else? I'm like, no, already. What else? What else? What else? Ella se cree que I'm pursuing her. Es bruta. Es bruta. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I was reading on Instagram. I'm bored. I want to hike at Encanto again. I mean, Enchanted Rock. And take Jada and Kaimani there. What else? What else? Oh, I buy an exclusive piece of land, but will the FBI? There's something very unlikely that I need to do. It's costing. Oh, jeez. If I can, then I can invite them. Maybe not the men, pero these niches, they're so dumb. And they accept any invitation from me. They're dumb as fuck. So I could just have like a semi shooting range there. Invite them to a pretty dinner on a field, and before they start eating, shoot them. What else? 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 And if he's looking for a reason to murder me, he's trying to recreate if I killed his significant other when I was 3. So he killed my mother, and he's trying to make me be mad at his significant others and say that I'm gonna kill him for him to face him. I'm scared for my Carolina Chavez that Arlene will kill her. So he's looking for a reason to murder me with the excuse that his significant other's in danger. I could kill her because I won't have sex with him. El tipo es un leech, una basura. So they're dumb. That was an invitation for me. A friend request on Facebook knowing that we are friends. Wow. Please do visit me in my home while you're staying in my home without my permission. What else? What else? So if I buy a piece of land, I can invite them. Then I can murder them. Not murder them, but kill them in self-defense. And then I wouldn't get the floor dirty because I'm worried about the floor. I almost killed Gigi Gendalides about more than twice in my 20s in self-defense. But I didn't want to get the floor dirty. I was at a family party. What else? What else? What else? There was possibly coordinated so I would kill her in self-defense. That's why I don't talk to them. Because behind the scenes, they like literally the host that event para que matan a Jimmy Gendalides in self-defense and no me va a molestar si se el piso. That's why it was under the house and it could have been power wash even if it was inside the home. So family parties, some people may be like, ¿dónde está lindo? Está lindo, está lindo. What else? Anyways, it won't be Wisconsin, but you get my train of thought. I can just host the event outside where there's no floor to get dirty. Porque menopause soon. That's the only issue with menopause. Men are who get hysterical, people say, because they're not men, but they have huevos. So they create so much hype. Have they been lying to people? No, she's a hungry. She's just menopause. They're an embarrassment. So gross. Ew. So since 1980. When did I get my period? What else? Why is there 2 colors? Offering daughters adjusted for. What else? What else? And Kaylani got her period when 2018-ish. So that may be it. Surges might decline soon, but like it is 15 already. Dana's huevitos have been pregnable for a while. What else? Those are interesting. If you have your finances together and you're a victim of rape and theft, then you'll be fine. You won't care about those robots. Been there, but what else? Oh, ella Shazam la canción luego de este video. People say, how does that video not have views? Y ella, todas las liches que se hacen pasar por el lichesam, la canción, y se aparecen todas, like, oh, mientras, oh, and someone mentioned me, ew. Mientras I was like head bobbing like this, yo no, yo soy así. Y yo soy, ew, tipo un puerco a la basura. Ew, 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 ew. Esta gente son un asco. Esta leash es una basura. Esta rosa. You can take off the Gloria Visuales que se pintó rubio when I was like 18 pretending to be me. Ew, ew. She even showed up to my parents and said, well, because you didn't make it official with him, I'm just gonna color my hair blonde, get a secretary job. And steal your money, girl, your home and your vehicles. SBM. Ew, dan un asco, gente, son una basura. You can decapitate Gloria Suarez. You can decapitate Maria Luisa Rosa. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez. The sons that write me, steal my money and get in the way and they're saying money. What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate Galich. So weird. Yeah, decapitate. You wanna be me? You need to so literalmente was on him trying to be cute, and he was like, yeah, he thinks he's less than me. So he may have been like so appreciative of me messing around with him when I was a toddler. Y esta tipa literalmente me dijo en medio, ahí está mi culo para él. Y le dije, te quedas aquí conmigo. Ew, esta tipa es una puerca, una asquerosidad. If that happened. Ew, ew, ew. Y él es tan bruto, tan pendejo asqueroso. He's not better though. As I can't recognize them sometimes. Que él le paga a ella porque se haga pasar por mí. I didn't have his invitation to the Best Western I was paying for too. I thought like maybe in a few years when I'm no longer abused by my siblings that brag that they rape him. Well, I'm like all curled up in my bedroom. I was reading, drawing, or whatever. But I'm like, ew, these people are like raping each other and trying to kill me because I'm being a woman and they aren't. And my mother's already fed up. It's like, stop making me nervous. I'm like, I can't help it. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So when I said no, but not thinking like that he was gonna go on to destroy me emotionally, I thought like, okay, not now, but maybe in a few years if he's available. He went on to say to me, well, I took Jenny Dendali's at Best Western, waited right across the street there. They always use her. When I declined their invitation, they're just as disgusting as she is. They're just as disgusting as she is. They think it's a joke. I don't see sex as a joke. What they're doing isn't even sex. They're just animals jumping on top of each other. They're disgusting. That is that restaurant. Right next to the Best Western. I'm gonna take myself there. So at least me robó mi dinero to date him. Posiblemente se compró un yate con mi dinero. Well, I'm like, I need money. From the money that you have from that venture of us painting together, I need money for food. My parents are starving me, trying to kill me. Your brothers just terrorized my parents, saying that they should starve me to rape me. He's like, you have money, my brothers. And I'm like, I can't get there. There's so many leeches that stay with you all. Like, I need money right now. And he's like, that money is for dating. That's not for mantenerte. Your mother te tiene que mantener. So he killed my mother. He's trying to kill me. He had my children. Ew, 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 ew. Then he's screaming. aquí en telenovero porque el tipo no sabe ni hablar. Que yo no llorara cuando se me secan los ovarios de que yo quería un hijo con él. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? El tipo es un puerco. I want to say the best person today. Oh, nice titties for real. That's so cute. Bro. What else? What else? What else? You know, I don't like the titties. Oh, are we doing a competition who has the largest nipples? Possibly. You know, saying that if I were in Poland, I would have a see-through dress with nipple ring at the library. What else? What else? What else? What else? So bring it on, bitch. One day I'll be see-through all over again here. And we can have that's not a competition, but we can do the advertisement and exhibit of who has the largest nipples. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So that's what he wants. Dinigenda Liris Lorenzo Suarez. He wants to try to get me to turn her into a woman. Eso no tiene remedio. Eso como excremento que ya se supone que esté seco, muerta, 5 feet under. Porque eso sería mucho time, waste of time. Excavate is like, no la pueden meter shallow there. Y ya. Porque vamos a usar los brazos para seguir excavando. El tipo es un puerco, una basura. He's trying to ruin my self-esteem so I don't date. I date myself. This is how I hold coffee. I buy myself water during my coffee time. Él se pensó que yo iba a future los fake messages de mi amor, que es que te amo. Nene, acá hoy págame, que hoy me pinté el pelo y me hice pasar por Arlen. Así es eso, da un asco. Ella quiere cobrar por cada palabra que dice. Es una basura, una asquerosidad. Ella no se quiere ella misma. Oh. What else? So where is the Best Western? There's a restaurant that I saw the other day, but I've seen it before. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Double lingerie. That's it. So that's where they ate. And wow, Papo Tecato. No picture here is that his brother, Ella. Instead of me with my money, most likely, possibly full. So I said no because I wasn't emotionally stable for that. And weeks later, he's like, ¿qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué tipa tan puerca? ¿Qué tipo tan puerco? Y eso literalmente, de hecho, le abrió el culo in front of me. Y le dijo, te quedas conmigo. Well, him and I were sorting through our feelings of he's less than me, pero maybe I could have like made him a man in one day, people say, pero no just with sex, just by the way that I treat him. Si él se asocia con basura, él se va a ver basura y se va a sentir basura. He possibly has a girlfriend in Poland que lo trata bien and he's like, oh, okay, I'm a man. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate Jimmy Gendalis and Suarez. Please do me a favor. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez and his sons that rape me, to steal my money, and get in the way of Mary Simon. What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, I want some of these. Totally unrelated to him, but I thought like a leech se ha quedado en mi casa sin mi permiso, la abordó en mi casa y se la llevó con mi material. Oh, I like these, pero with a black class. No, that's not a class, a black hook. That I like. That I like. Todavía hay fraude, todavía hay gente que no todos somos honestos, dicen. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Same. That's like my life. What else? What else? What else? Oh, wow. Ya hacen 20 años que morí. Sigue vivo. Gente, porque esto no es peluco. Esto da miedo. Ron Nuremberg is a rapist. Wearing my leather, violando gente por ahí. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Anyways, I'm gonna help Ron Nuremberg get his favorite job, apparently, if he has one. That isn't major. What else? What else? What else? What else? I can't remember who's friendly or not. What else? Ya van por leather de ese color del edificio, gente. And I don't want to see them. For real, they used to involve him in that. I'm like, that's just my baby daddy material. I don't see him as a husband, so you can try to separate that from having a baby from me, and that's besides the point. They're like, ya vamos por cuero del color del empaque del queso. Parecemos un arbolito de Navidad hoy. Ayer tuvimos cuero de este color. Mañana vamos a añadir nudish, brownish con black and white. Y el que te escribió eso va a estar allí. Ellos no se quieren para nada, son una basura, una asquerosidad. You can decapitate, everyone steals my money, everyone that stays in my homes without my permission, everyone my vehicles, everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money. I'm heading over to Central Market soon. What else? Anyways, what a proposal, and se abrió el culo y le dijo, te quedas aquí, eres mi prisionero de por vida. Y a mí me amenazó con un cuchillo to stay away his half-brother, que that's her man. So ella goes on parading herself. Why does she not post her happiness on Facebook for me to see? She's even that dumb. Why instead of an account where she's like at least at Olive Garden dining, she doesn't show that where I can see it? I don't want to see it, but for FBI purposes, they have everything that they need. She's that dumb. She possibly goes on to send it to the International Criminal Court. This is how it was better than today. They think they're on a personal level with the International Criminal Court, and that the FBI no longer exists after the International Criminal Court was created. You can decapitate Jimmy Dendaliris Lorenzo Suarez. You can decapitate Ron Nuremberg if he stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicle, steals my money, gets in the way of me receiving money. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez and his sons and rape me the money and get in the way of me receiving money. It's April 3rd, 2025. What else? What else? I miss Jada, miss Kenoni. I didn't give up Jada. I didn't give up Kenoni. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm still smiling at this picture. And that is a screenshot of a video. It's pretty, it shows real time to me. What else? I want to shop. No. Anyways, when the person can be arrested for her behavior, that's not a wife. People try to explain to them when the person can be arrested for her behavior, that's not a wife. That's a kidnapper, an extortionist, someone that has no moral standards, a leech, una lacra, basura, asquerosidad que está tratando de entrar y tú se la mama. I've heard them speak behind the scenes. They're like, once we kill Benjamin Suarez, the sons will be the 8 girls. Decades ago. Y ellos, like, aquí estoy con mi esposa madre, con el traje largo y el niño tiene hoy. Someone que tan puerca. You can decapitate Berenice Venegas. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez, sons that rape me, steal my money, and get in the way of your saving money. You can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Ginny Dendalides Lorenzo Suarez. That's not a wife. That's a leech. In the worst form, like if leeches were leeches. What else? Oh, that's cute. That's cute in these comments, but that takes agreement too. Like if you're the wife, you're like, what? What else? 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 I'm heading over to Central Market to get food. How much of my gold is there? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Let's go. That's a really cute look. Among some aces. Oh, that's rude. What else? 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 And yeah, they could be so easy to find. Let's say my percent. What else? What else? What else? 8 in size. Too tall, too short. Oh, do they have complejos? Porque Agar's like this little. El otro is like gigantic. They're not meant, so they might even cry about that. They're like, no, I'm too little or too big. What else? El tipo es un puerco, el tipo es un puerco. And then it is one, and then they make her smile. My something else that makes her suck dick illegal for them while pretending to be me. El tipo es un puerco, una basura, una que I don't want it near me. Heading to Center Market.